Hey everyone. Amit, we have talked a lot about successes. We have had Jeff over here in our previous conversation, and we have seen what Alt Health is doing and various other networks as well. Now, I want to particularly touch upon the point with the challenges, like since starting from, let's say, the idea generation phase, what kind of challenges you have faced so far, especially while talking to people and communicating what this whole idea of shop type and awake and that entire attribution system is.
I think the biggest challenge is really, getting people to see that there is an entirely different way to look at the same thing, right? Because what happens is when people are used to seeing things a certain way, it's just a habit, you get stuck to that habit. And, anything new seems to be, alien, or it seems, lateral, extremely lateral, and it's not, obvious, even though it actually is obvious. And it's really just their thinking which creates the, old models that are being solidified as the way things are, or, whatever. So you see, the future is limited by one's own thinking.
Yeah. That's true.
Anything can happen. I mean, anything is possible. You could have Facebook, the problem, which is generally, using the term the Facebook problem, which is not a Facebook problem. It's a social media problem, and people, how they, tend to use the internet and what they do online. All of those things are connected to how we perceive, society and how we perceive the way things are. And we evaluate what can be done based on, that understanding. So the greatest challenge in general is to, get people to see past their own viewpoints.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a challenge in general, but it's definitely a challenge when it comes to, something different. And particularly when it's quite unique and if you're the first ones out there doing it.
Yeah. Has it become easier since we have from last 1.5, 2 years now, like compared to last 1.5, 2 years, right now we have something to show for it. Then the system is also in place. Has it become a little bit easier to communicate the same thing?
See, now we can show them, parts of the conversation that is very easy to understand. For example, most people can understand, hey, you're going to make more money. Let me show you how. Or I'm going to give you money rather than I'm going to charge you money, right? The model is a giving model, right? This is the giving protocol in a way, right? We give away the software for free. We give away profits. We give away, everything to other people for them to succeed with it. So this is a giving model, not a taking model. So it's very easy everybody likes to take,
Yeah.
Not just business-wise, but even generally, people like to take things. They like when they're given things for free in particular, but they like things being given to them. Nobody, they also like to take things. They don't want to pay for things in general, right? So for every taker, there is a giver. So if you want people to take your stuff, why don't you just give it to them?
Yeah. Another way.
So directly just give it. And then the use of that thing that you've given should produce enough value for all sides to win.
Yeah.
So now it's easier for us to show them, hey guys, you get a wallet, and everyone's, you get money deposited in this wallet. And all you got to do is what you're already doing. And so we talk to, publishers, and we say, listen, your content and audience can now monetize through commerce. We talk to creators and say, all your content and network online can now be monetized instantly, using commerce. And so everyone makes money, and this is a earning system, right? As opposed to a spending system.
Spending system, yes. So, in the has it ever happened with you, or somebody responded in a way that straight out saying that this is not possible or this is not how it's done or like something like in a very opposite direction.
I have learned I think that I need to tone down my rhetoric, when it comes to explaining what it is we do. So I remember almost 2 years ago, I think there was a person, a gentleman that I connected with, and they run a so-called internet fund and this and that, and internet focused fund, I should say. And my rhetoric started off by saying, the internet's broken. Right? And it's like, well, obviously it's not broken. And, and I'm like, well, yeah, but it is I was like beginning to go into it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it was so like, I guess, offensive that the person literally just like hung up.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's extraordinary what words mean to people. If I say the internet's broken, it could either mean, oh, that's interesting. You must know that it's not broken. I'm curious to know what you mean. Or it could be like, you're stupid, because obviously it works, right? So words are the challenge. And, one has to kind of, the meaning of what you are trying to say is the important bit. And, that's why, if you are clear on what you're doing or what has to happen or what it is, then, the words will come out the way they should, depending on the context.
Yeah, that's true. Do you also sort of change your pitch or your talking style when talking to different type of people? Let's say you talk to them for like a minute or so, and then you understand, okay, you have to change your approach or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you have to quickly gauge, what is the context that the individual will understand, right? And then you use those analogies and mental models to kind of communicate your point, right? So if you talk to a creator, like if you talk to newspaper, generally people in the news industry, it's extremely difficult to get them to understand commerce. I don't know what the deal is.
Okay.
Like it's extraordinary. It depends on who in the newspaper. Like if I talk to revenue side people or whatever, they get it quicker. But somehow, like if you talk to like editorial side, it's extraordinary. They live in some land where they think the content is really, content is both king and it means nothing. You need to have the content, and the content needs to be good, but it's not about the content. So exactly. I mean, it is about the content, but it's not about the content. So this is what the issue is, and people have to understand that, right? It's both about the content and it's not about the content. So if you only think that it's about the content, which is true but not full truth, then you live in a partial universe that leaves you behind when compared with people who understand the full thing, right? So you need to understand the whole thing, and if you don't understand the whole thing, then what you have is a partial understanding. And partial understanding is another word for wrong understanding.
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, pretty well being.
I mean, it's either you understand the whole thing or you don't.
You don't. Yeah.
Right. So it's either so think that. So and then assuming that yes, you're right. It's a point of view and all these things is the challenge now, right? Like now it's a point of view.
Now
it's a point of view. So now it's an argument between points of view. So that's not where we live. So what I had to do ultimately with Awake is, ShopType as a technology can be used by anyone. But do you think that many newspapers, will, let's say, if they're offered an advanced CMS with a lot of APIs to do this kind of a build, look, anyone can build anything, right? And if you already have all the eyeballs, why wouldn't you not build lots of different monetizable, properties? But why?
But they don't.
You then, right?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the challenge, right? And the very obvious gap. Now we just have to, like, before we react, if you just look at the situation, then one doesn't have to actually explain the anything to them. My first approach, my last company and the company before that, was generally trying to explain to publishers that, hey, this can be done and blah blah blah, and all the tech is now here and we've made it easier and whatever, right? With Awake, we go many levels higher than that. right? We literally just launch the new businesses that solve all the problems that somebody needs. And then you either become a partner or an investor or some sort of a, early mover there, or others will,
Yeah.
in your industry. So, it's about action and about, reducing the friction for people who are unable to take that action.
Yeah. We have to work on the friction as well, of course. I mean, like, we have to ensure that there's less friction and they get the value proposition. They get the value proposition right.
Yeah, and the value proposition becomes quite clear when we start talking to people in terms of driving sales for them. Helping them with distribution and sales is like, manna from heaven generally. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, who doesn't want that? Oh, okay, that's a pretty like a wide range of reactions you might have gotten, like from straight out, no, this is not done, to where we are right now. And I think if we, like, let's say you're writing your book, so if you're able to document it, then it's a great learning for every entrepreneur, because they have to go through this journey. Depending on the idea, of course, the complexity changes, but still they have to go through that journey to, like, talking to people and communicating correctly what they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that one of the things which I always like to say and live by is that if you're going to do something, the chances of failure are, pretty much the same in most things one does. I mean, assuming one doesn't do very silly and, achievable things, then, but if you're talking about risk, and, beyond a certain point, risk is risk, you can't quantify risk. Is it 95 or 90, or, is it 99, or like, these are all guesses that have no meaning, and so
it doesn't matter.
So therefore you should pick the thing that has the most risk to reward to, impact ratios, right? Because why not? I mean, you're going to have the same risk, and you're going to have to go through the conversations. It's just the scope or the people you talk to may differ, but it's the same process, no different, no matter what you do. So Awake is about dreaming big.
Yes, that's pretty much clear. I mean, it's about big. It's dreaming big. Thanks, Amit. Thanks so much for such a lovely conversation. And not only me, I hope everybody who's listening will also gain some perspective on with your journey, with everything
with our journey, all of us together. We're writing, together. I think I'm curious, excited and curious to know when you're going to start talking about our other, book that's coming. I'm sure you're, So I love this creator economy for this reason. I think this is the best way to really market and talk to, your story and bring and speak your truth and to involve everyone into these creative projects that, ultimately become IP and drive a lot of marketing value and just brand equity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, creative economy, gig economy, everything gives you a lot of independence as well. Like what you want to do, where you want to do, how you want to do, in most of the cases as well.
Awesome. Thanks.